Okay, alrighty. So don't hate me on not having music. We are short on time because I'm like super late. Because I had a lot of stuff to do, but you guys know if I'm able, and I definitely am not going to skip the hangout with you boys and girls. Give me just a sec. I'm gonna get everything prepped so I can share with everybody that everybody's gonna be on the live. We can talk about the various stocks and today's market movement, which was kind of boring. All in all, we didn't do a lot. But then again, we kind of woke up to back to life as the session was coming to an end. And we're gonna look at all that beautiful stuff. So give me just a second. I'm gonna post on my Discord. Those who don't know, I have a private Discord where my community hangs out and we talk about everything, stock related, market related, and food related, apparently. And yeah, just give me a sec. I'm gonna post and we will start right away. Bear with me. No music, no nothing, no intro. That's a waste of time. We don't have time today. Okay, let's go. We're good. Shit, I didn't change the date. Oh my god. 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 That's gonna be a problem. Oh my god. I have to change the thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'll have to change it. I'm a moron. I'm a moron. I was in such a rush. I did the wrong date. We're now not on the 10th. We're on the 22nd. Here it is. I'll have to repost it later. No problem. All right, let's get back to the chat so I can see you boys and girls and talk to you. And we can get this show on the road. Where was I? Was I here? I was here. Yes, I was definitely here. Let's get the show on the road. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Yeah, no intro today. We're not going to waste time on that simply because I'm already that late, if you will. And so no intro. Let's get into the hang of things. Give me a sec. I'm really behind. And alrighty. Actually, just give me a sec. I didn't prep my screen. Give me just one more. In fact, you know what? In the time being, those who are new here, they will get to see this beautiful thing. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna get everything prepped. I forgot. I have lots of noise and stuff here I shouldn't be having. I'm removing all my corn from the screen. Those who know what corn means on the internet. No, I'm kidding. But I'm having a lot of the setups here with the national secrets. I cannot have it this way. I need to make sure everything is clean from top governmental secrets. So I'm going to remove all of that, and we're going to get started in a second. You know what it is. I have to keep the secrets secret. Otherwise, chupacabra. Sorry, I just didn't have anything. One more second. One more second, boys and girls. Give me a sec. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Pretend there's music in the background. Almost done. Okay, we're good. We are good to start. We're good to start. We're good to start. Let me switch back to my main screen. We're good to start. All right, let's go. Let's get back to the chart though before I forget. Greg, what? No, I know. I did it on purpose. It was so I can hide all the national secret top bunker level indicators that are top secret, holy grail of the market, crystal ball level secrets. You know, I had to hide that first. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having a blast. I'm so sorry for being late a little bit today, but it is what it is. I had to finish some things, and yeah, let's get to it. The market, you know, I'm not sure which thing to start off of. I maybe wanna emphasize first of all that's a continuous contract right now. Maybe I wanna highlight uh, the night's price action that we had throughout the night. Where was that thing? Here it is. Stupid me, went bananas. I want to show you. First of all, normally, yes, we do normally get overnight somewhat choppiness, and I can show you if we can look in between the the price action. In fact, it stands out. Today's price action overnight was so weird that look, you don't see such a behavior ever. No matter overnight what. In fact, we sometimes get very volatile price action. So we kind of don't really even look at this. Even that doesn't look exactly what we sort of had there, right? So we don't really get that sort of price action. What exactly happened today? Well, let's check this out. This was actually pretty weird, and I want to highlight this because those who are more familiar with the current levels at which we are at and how critical the technical levels that are established over cycles, if you will, and a particular rule set by which the market does tend to behave, this is very abnormal. Overnight, we basically had the market become super choppy as we were closing and then just went flat. This doesn't really happen in the market ever. Though, and I was observing it as it was unfolding. I was having a bit of a toothache or some weird thing I was having. Wasn't really able to sleep, and I was watching it unfolding as it is. This is tremendously abnormal. That was sort of the first stage of how today was weird. But okay, you know what? Let's pretend somehow that's normal. And then, although with all the choppiness, we then sort of opened up and things just started behaving normally. We kind of went back to normal. Hypothetically, it feels almost as if. Then we reach a particular resistance, which some would argue that there's a higher high. I can show you in a second. We're going to see that it is actually a double peak. A perfect one almost, which is very, very weird for this condition. But, well, as long as it's not higher than the previous point, it's kind of fine. So pretty interesting, but we're going to look at that. That's sort of the thing that bothers us the most. The most interesting bit here is since the market closed, I mean, we've seen just since the market closed a lot more movement, like one of my members here, Bedwars Gang, mentioned in the community where we just hang out in Discord just minutes before we started. She literally mentioned how basically after market closed, we had a lot more movement than we had through the entire day, objectively speaking. And this is, again, this is the formulation of the continuous contract, which does have some discrepancy to the normal contract. We're going to look at that in a second. And the whole nature of the behavior, like this is abnormal. We don't normally completely run out of momentum in such a way that we just go flat, with all the respect to the market. So this is kind of weird, but let's check this out. That was the first weirdness we saw. It was the pre-market, and then we had the market. Those who understand, there is actually a precise specific level of a high that we had here before. We can actually locate it here very easily. Here it is. Right? You can see here is that level. At very same level, we can mark it up. Well, actually, that's wrong. I should probably mark the actual level. You know what? I should just, because I'm going to show it up close and personal. Let's show it. Here's that level. Let's mark that level, right? Let's make it stand out somehow. This weird greenish color that will stand out like all hell. Okay, so let's go to where we should be. And so what happened today, although some of you understand that there's actually a far stronger force at play here, which is a retracement level, which resides at 6,101.54. Yes, you guys know we have to be tremendously precise. But realistically speaking, there's also, I think I got it wrong. I have a feeling I kind of got it wrong a little bit. And I think if I'll do it this way, it will look better. You guys agree? I probably agree. But yeah, so that was that level of resistance, right? Really that sort of stopped things, but really at the end of the day, we cannot ignore that is the high level that we had there. And so we did kind of penetrate that for half a millisecond. And so that the only way we have any sort of remnants of it is by going to the very, very small time frames. And technically speaking, we can say it's a higher high. Technically speaking. But as soon as you go into larger time frames, it becomes part of the very same peak. So it doesn't really matter. It's more of an internal movement. So just like what we saw there. Okay. So now that we look objectively, a little bit more objectively, let's go. I mean, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to skip over the previous time frames. We know it's actually pretty important. So the thing here is this. We're already oversold, and as we're familiar with the market normally behaving, we usually have a a particular type of trend, which it can be an uptrend, a downtrend, and a bit of a corrective movement. The same way, we're not going to be biased, and you guys know we're not. If the price action goes up all the way into overbought, and then we see a corrective movement, I don't start screaming, that's it, we're going down. I say it looks suspicious, right? We naturally dwell in the overbought area X amount of times, so we probably are going for a retest. But normally this is a relief corrective movement for whatever we just had. If we had a rally, corrective movement. If we had a drop, basically a crash, corrective movement. More so, to give emphasis to the 50% point, which sort of represents the ground zero when it comes to the stochastic RSI. So we kind of have to be more attentive to on which side of things we are and what time frame are we on. Because even if we're bearish on the 5 minutes, that means, sure, we can go bearish for what? 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes that we can extrapolate on the 5 minutes. But if we're going to be bearish for a week, your bullishness is not going to help you, right? That 20 minutes of bullishness, basically you can squeeze out how much momentum and how far can you get or further away from the beginning point than you can within several weeks, all right? So that kind of makes sense, I guess. Now, let's look at what we see at face value. Remember, we don't want to be doing the guessing game here. Just give me a sec. Pardon, bear with me. I want to take a sip of the drink here. Otherwise, I'll be parched. All right, thank you for holding on. And so the 5 minutes, since we already closed and we don't really care, and we probably, if anything, we want to be attentive, we can kind of switch over back and forth from the continuous to the actual ongoing contract, but it's going to be kind of meaningless. I would argue that in our instance right now, we can kind of want to see how the market closed relative to how the gap will look like tomorrow, if we're going to have any, which we're probably going to, as the market doing what it's doing right now, which I don't like. Again, and we've said this before, I prefer the market. We were right now today closing gaps, right? We will mention this in a second. So I don't want us to open new gaps that we'll now have to have a new chore in the morning. This is a waste of time. But again, we'll see. The momentum still shows what the market is about to do regardless of whether we like it or not, right? So we'll look at it at face value. We did make a new gap, which is annoying. That means we have a new thing here to close on the way down. And if we make another one somewhere, let's say if we drop and end up correcting all the way here and then for some reason close, well, I don't know, market or going up or whatever, and then eventually having another remnant gap, and inside of it we still have a leftover gap to close, and then if we're down we're going to have to correct up just to close it, so that sucks. Okay, so that's why we don't like gaps. Just kind of a quick reminder. But what did happen? The one thing that did happen, we did have a bit of a gap on the upside, on the top side of things. That is this. Where is it? Where is it? No, I'm confused. I guess we might just see it on the 1 minute, not on the 5 minutes, because it gets engulfed, I guess. Let me find it real quick for you, boys and girls. I think it was it? Was Fuzzy Wuzzy? Wuzzy Fuzzy. Oh, right, I remember why. Of course, I'm a moron, right. That was here. Here we had this thing, which we have that. Let's mark them differently so we can locate them. Let's make it this weird orangey thing. And then let's take another weird orangey thing as such. So we're going to confuse them with anything else. Now, since we're on the 1 minute, we get the most precise measurement of the gap. And now we go right there. And we can see that as we were having the price action sort of play out, we never ended up closing the entirety of the gap, and we had some remnants. And so now what we have to do to keep it proper is to grab this thing, put it right here on the top. And so we are left with this. Now let's see. Let's go all the way to today's price action. And you'll be pleasantly surprised to discover that we jumped above the gap. But that means if we will, actually I was certain that we closed it. My God, I'm such a moron. Haha. Jokes on me. But, well, actually, since we've rallied all the way through, the thing here is this. If we're going to continue as is and closing the current gap that was generated throughout today, which is here it is, right? I was actually certain we closed this gap. It's so funny. Such a moron. But, so if we're going to go down now, as we expect. We'll see. We're going to end up closing this gap. And so this gap within itself will also be a closure of the previous gap. And so we're going to get rid of these chores that we had, we were stuck with. By the way, those who understand how important these levels are and want to see how not random they are, right? And I would argue again that this is the 100 level. It's just that, well, 99, 97. I mean, I understand that some of you maybe want to insist on where the candlestick was. I get it, but really the technical level that was at play here was really that level. Well, why am I doing that? It's just more annoying. It's simpler to do this. Bum, done. That was the actual level. You can see only 3 cents away. And if we objectively look right there, going back, you'll see it matches perfectly enough. A lot better than our technical level, which is the 6101.54. This one. Okay, so you can see that was the one that actually ended up being and preventing us from continuing upwards. So that's technically the resistance, a psychological level, 6100. Now, given the condition that we're at, given the resistances that we just tested, and we saw how severe they are and how seriously the market treats them, we have to remember that we technically closed basically right on the edge of the hoop, if you will. But then again, within the framework of the channels that we've been having all along, right? Those who know, right now I'll switch. Now it's kind of got messed up a little bit, but you see we have a wider channel here that does work. That's why we're not going to take our cues for the 1 minute today. That's the beauty of why having the other time frames and their adjusted channels, which those channels are going upwards very neatly. You can see clearly we were respecting them as we were going. In fact, even today, when we finally ended up moving throughout these channels, these supports and resistances, you can see they were being respected as we went. And I would argue that probably we have something there, but we'll see. Though some people will ignore, say, it's not legit. I will say it's actually very much so legit. We're going to have this, you can see again, working within the framework of the channels, very important. The market really respects the channels very much so, as you can see, even though when having some discrepancies and some weird behaviors, we still end up retaining the channels, right? You can see that as we go. Okay, and these channels we've been in for quite a while. I hope the sound is good, by the way. I checked, it should be good. And so right now we're kind of working our way within the framework of the channel. By the way, technically speaking, if you're going to look at the post market already, we already have dropped to here. We're already 6080. I think last time we checked at 6090. Sorry, we're not yet. We're almost. And we're kind of having a bit of a turnaround from today's very excessive run-up that we had to the very, very, very absolute peak high that the market on the technical aspect of things and the rule set of how the market tends to behave and needs to behave, if you will, the cyclicality of things. I mean, it really, it was one of those moments that you see only in movies where the basketball on the edge of the hoop and it just kind of stops moving and everybody stops breathing and just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. By the way, this is a good example right here. You see how we're, again, starting to test the channel and reverting right back up, right? You can see it in live. You can see how it's starting to occur in real life. But well, what does that mean actually for everything? Well, I would argue actually we're looking a lot more bearish over time. I mean, sure, right now we're already squeezing that momentum out, but sooner or later, I mean, how much more do we have left in the system? Back up to that 6097, which we kind of roughly closed, just to continue downwards, now giving it a lot more room on the lower end. But again, instead of speculating, let's do what we normally do. Let's continue. I got carried away. I'm so sorry. Let's see the channel. Let's see the momentum, and let's see what should we predict for tomorrow. Well, below and behold, surprise, surprise. Yes, we had this crazy run-up. We kind of made this almost cap sort of thingy, right, that is detached from the price action. And we said now we have a gap, and we have another gap to close. And below and behold, the market on the 30 minutes is getting ready to turn back around. In fact, we're already starting to see that turnaround. And if we will continue that path, guess what? We close that gap. What does that mean, though? It kind of sucks because we kind of made it all the way to the highest high. Notice, though, that assets are still behind, and significantly so much so. Today I heard about all day about, look, Palantir on their way to 80. Which, by the way, if you watched my last week's video, we literally said it can. The reason being, Palantir is currently retaining the current channel, as you can tell. In fact, we entered this channel right here, and we're testing it quite early. We tested it there, and we tested it here as well, of course, and the median, of course, very, very much so, very carefully, to be very attentive. And on the path as it stands, absolutely it can be that we make it to the resistance, right, of the channel, which resides roughly at around 68.61, which is far too close for comfort for that 80. And given that that 80 is psychological and magnetic, and the momentum can be so rapid, so we can get carried away, if you will, outwards. But the thing that will truly then be able to stop us will probably then be exactly that 80. So sure, we can make 80, might not actually make it. We might get stopped earlier. But even if we do make it to 80, that is as good as it gets for you. You made it to 81.15? God himself is probably sitting on your shoulder. Otherwise, I cannot explain that. But regardless of, I would get ready for a continuation and a correction of the channel downwards. Are we sure? Yes, we are goddamn sure. Really sure. Like, how sure are we? We're pretty sure. That is that downwards deterioration momentum, and you're like, well, Greg, it's moving upwards, right? But it's going to get stuck right here below the 50, retaining the downwards pressure. And if you really want to understand where it stems from, enjoy. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to cancel your weekly from going into oversold territory and basically dragging you downwards? I would honestly argue to 59 and eventually 54. Yeah, probably 54. We're not gonna 54, 55 to the 50 handle. By the way, referencing my video again, if those who are not certain what I'm talking about, right? Exactly my video that I said, boys and girls, Palantir to 50, right? Remember, we said if the market will squeeze another last squeeze at the end of the year, it can reach 100. But once it doesn't, even in that video itself that I talk about Palantir to 100, I say that if we were not successful at that, when the year overturns, we're probably going to start crashing. And believe it or not, just like I promised, it's exactly that very analysis. Here it is, and the very analysis of the rest of the market. So definitely recommended to watch that. And here it is, by the way, that very same picture, how you're seeing how we made it to the top of the channel, which correlates perfectly with that very same channel that basically stopped us during COVID. The problem here, we're not going to see it that same way because the structure is slightly different. But it was that very same structure. On the monthly, we might actually get to see it. We might, or we might just not have enough average, which, yeah, we don't have enough average, so... The problem here is you can't really see it on the Palantir, but we've shown it before on S&P, and we know that when the market breaks, Palantir will break with it. But the momentum, bottom line, is negative and pulling downwards even further, and so subsequently leading you to this median of this channel, which if you really want to see what we're talking about, again, we're talking about roughly about the 50 handle. Okay, but I did mention and say that at first it's going to be 70-60, which you can see we're slowly moving there, right, in a very noisy fashion. That's how it's going to be, but eventually we're going to make our way to that 50 area. That's Palantir. So that's how it kind of you can see the hints. Similarly, so the same way we see it on the S&P, right? And but the problem is on the indices we're still far up high. In fact, we made it all the way to all-time highs. In fact. We didn't cross them, but we made it too. The real question is the stuff we're starting to see on the growing and larger time frames. Basically, this is pointing clearly to the downside, and as it appears, tomorrow is going to be rather bearish. And if we then penetrate the 50 level, then it's going to accelerate. Sorry for my inability to draw. Accelerate to the downside, giving us a proper closure of the gap. I just hope we're not going to do it overnight, because that's bad for us. Then we still get stuck with another gap we need to close, and it's a lot of just nausea, back and forth, back and forth. You know, all ratchet, no vomit, right? We don't want that. It's like being seasick, I guess. Here we're also starting to see the deterioration of the momentum, which we said, guys, we're so overcooked that just give it, you know, a day or two and it will start breaking, right? This is the hourly, so that kind of dictates how the hourly then will make the 4-hourly spill over. Right here, you see the 4-hourly still high, right? And when the 1 hourly starts spilling lower and lower with the hourly, the 4-hourly, this will start printing more negatively, right? To the downside, accelerating and amplifying the effect and the sentiment that we're going down, more selling happening by the robotic systems because they simply see it and they don't care for emotions. They simply see a number go down, so sell, right? Here we're coming to an edge, right? We're already in overbought conditions, and we said it's how phenomenal that we're even able to make that happen. But we know, understand that's all inauguration and people's hopes and all that beautiful stuff. It doesn't change the fact of the matter that the channel went from being going upside, now it's basically flat and with an inkling of downwards. We're having this megaphone formation, right? Because we haven't given up on this ceiling yet. Get ready, that's just an exception. We're just gonna get back into the, I mean, don't get overexcited, okay? Just technicals, don't hate on me, it's technicals. I mean, you can hate on me, in fact, I don't mind, I really don't mind. The only, the people who hate me, the only punishment they will have is, if I'm right, their own portfolios will punish them enough. I really don't have to say anything. I mean, yeah. So that's that. Again, I've been in this business for a very long time and seen this back and forth and just kind of tired of warning anybody and everybody. Whoever chose to stay in the village, although we know the wolf is coming. And then, you can't, or rather you can try, cry me a river about how you got eaten by the wolf, right? And the real reason for the major sort of source of the pain is we understand that we've been running too hot for far too long, in fact. And we've reached this very same resistance that those who remember, wink, wink, made us go, right? So I would argue that, no, sorry, boys and girls, I just went stupid there. So we understand that that very same channel, in fact, with one of my students here with Bad Wars Gang, we kind of laid out, let me just remove all the tiny bullshit noise, it's not important. We have enough of what we have here right now, understand the channel. So basically you can almost tell that the prediction here that gradually the price action will go back to 54.24 right here, which kind of correlates neatly with the median of the channel. And so given enough time, of course, it's going to be gradual. It's not going to be just straightforward. That is that sort of structure that I was trying to emphasize here, how gradually we're going to be breaking. Right now, we're already seeing that phenomena of stopping. Sure, some of us would argue, it's all not a big deal, we're only going to break to 4,800. I would argue that based upon the technicals that over larger cycles, what those who know, this is going to be just the first checkpoint on the very prolonged path down. And yes, I've been touting and saying that we're going to go far lower. In fact, those who want to know, we're going to match that golden pocket they talk a lot about from the fib retracement. It's this very important level. Those who understand technicals understand how important this level is. Those who don't, join the academy and I will teach you. All that beautiful stuff. And right, all these levels actually are very, very important levels, but as you can understand, we're not just going to plow through them, although the market does tend to go downwards far faster than it goes upwards. And we do end up canceling away whatever we've done over 3 months within half a month, most of the time, or 5 months, and then within 2 months, we just, clear it all out. So get ready for a nasty correction. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't tell you. We've been talking about this for quite a long time. It's been in the making for a very long time. Some of you guys will like to point out the discrepancy with the larger time frames. I will remind you that some of these things are very fresh based upon the change of the candlesticks that we had over the year's end, and all that bullish momentum that was at the end sort of spilled over, and it appears to be very bullish, while in reality all that bearish momentum that we're already seeing in the cannon, right, in the barrel, if you will, once it does come through, it will print on these larger time frames, whether you like it or not. That very behavior that we're talking about right now will print here, and so it will not look as bullish. In fact, it will overturn and will look just as bearish as it looked right as we closed the year, and in fact even further more bearish, probably, for example, the yearly moving below the 50, emphasizing how prolonged this process will be. Remember, this thing can get stuck in this form for a long time, literally months, until the printing of all that bearish momentum comes through, and only then it readjusts. But still, that is my own prediction. I could be wrong. I'm predicting it based upon the price action, and yeah, we'll see. We will see. So that is today's price action, I guess. Let's clear up some noise. Let's just remove that. There's just too much crap on the screen. Doesn't really help us. Alrighty, that is it. I'm gonna go back to the chat and see your question. And reversal, bro, ain't it? All right, Mamba is already in the groove. Mamba is already putting tickers to check. Let's see if I missed anything. Crystal ball indicator tells the lottery numbers. Absolutely. Don't you have a crystal ball indicator? I mean, mine was in the garage last week, but now I got mine back, and you can see I'm all on top of the market, right? Let's see what the market is doing in the time being. Oh, thank God. Honestly, I really wanted to correct back. I don't want it, which it doesn't look good right now. It doesn't look all too healthy. I really hope that overnight we're not going to have too much of that correction, and tomorrow we can end up opening where we should instead of having a gigantic, stupid gap. We really don't need that now. That's going to be so wrong. Yeah. Let's see. Reversal. Well, it appears to be. Bro, 30, sold 25% of the position, 130. Cool. Let's see. What did I got lots of props today for plug that we got it right. It's cool. We got that one right. I want to check out though. This is the spy. So probably should be using this one. I do want to check ANET. What did I tell you it's gonna do? Didn't I tell you it's gonna go up a little bit more? 130. Didn't I give it? Didn't I give it? No, I didn't give it. No, probably I didn't. Nah, probably didn't. Probably said how shortly we're gonna start correcting. Okay, cool. I mean, you were able to squeeze a little bit more, but get ready. You're gonna. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You do you. Not financial advice. But ANET looks like it's gonna take a dump, a very big dump. Dump, dump, dump. Dumpy, dumpy, dump. So you're gonna take a dump. Get ready, it's not gonna be cool. You're gonna break below that 125, it's not gonna hold you. Although you might want it to hold you, but it won't hold you to 125.79, and you're gonna be going all the way to 91.93. Get ready, shit is gonna be very painful for you. It's gonna hit the fan. Pretty much. I mean, I don't see that how under the conditions and where we're at and all that. Sure, you were able to squeeze just a little bit more, just to entice you to buy a little bit more, because you're gonna think to the moon. But I get a feeling from this 4-hourly that this is not looking too healthy for you. Yeah, your daily, weekly, 4-hourly kind of in agreement, although your daily is behind. I think, yeah, it's behind. They're kind of in agreement. That gap is also definitely in agreement with me. And that excessive movement out of bounds, definitely in agreement. Give me the bigger channel. Give me the bigger channel. Give me the bigger channel. It doesn't want to give me the bigger channel. Okay, that's not cool, but whatever. Yeah, it should. Alrighty. Was ANET yesterday seems smart. I used disco ball indicator. All right. It gives you all the, refractions of the light and the colorful things. Indicates like, but lots of love. Everyone needs lots of love. Well, it seems that today, since, first of all, thank you for everyone who showed up, smash the like, all that beautiful stuff. Join the Discord community. Joining Discord community, you need to join Patreon. This is the address, patreon.com/investory. Go for the cheaper tier. Don't forget to discount by taking the annual path. Definitely more beneficial. And you'll be able to discuss with us on a daily basis. Everything and anything. And we're about to do, by the way, those who are community members and more precisely students of the Academy, we're looking at doing a deep dive on some of the assets most of you guys like and hold and are interested in as we're entering earnings season, and some of them are going to have earnings report. We want to break down the technicals in depth as we humanly can. By the way, this is another dead giveaway that you're going to have a big problem with ANET right there. So we're having a plan, so please be attentive. It's probably going to be over the weekend-ish. It's going to be, for example, right now we're planning SoFi. And by the way, to offer and ask for stocks to look at, of course, Academy members separately, Patreon members as well. We're going to do this whole thing where you guys can offer stocks for us to look at and what's pressing and urgent and what are the dates. So we'll be able to look at the technicals before the earnings call happens. Earnings report, where is the, doesn't bubble? I don't really understand the question here. Wait. Michalis, are you in Russia anywhere? Did I promise to you that it's going to happen by the 23rd of the month? Wait, you wait, buddy. It's coming. It's coming. Wait, when it's going to come, when it will start happening. Will I get a medal? Will everybody be as annoying as like, Greg, you were right. You were right. Everybody else are dumb. How did you know? Am I going to get as much, the question is the respect going to be as loud as the disrespect? Can you check SLV? And that's the real question. That is the real question. When the market will drop, I will have only one question on my mind. Whether the apology will be as loud as the disrespect. That's going to be just the only question on my mind. Redemption, if you will. Maybe I'm just, celebrating too early. We're at all-time highs. Maybe Greg is wrong. We'll see. Maybe you'll get to call Greg an idiot. We'll see. We will see. The beauty of the market is that it's going to unravel and do what it's about to do regardless. And we only can stare at it and analyze to the best of our abilities and predict as far out as we can. Yeah. All right, so let's do SLV. I actually do like SLV. I used to have portfolios that had SLV, lots of it. Yeah, we've been trailing that very channel, so we're stuck in that very, it's like cell we're stuck in. I don't have the structure on it. No, should probably lay it out. Give it to me. Give it to me. Bam! Did I get it right though? I'm not sure. I think I have. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, looks good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks right. Looks just right to me. And so, extrapolating all these structure, you say, oh, sorry, forgot. You may be, madam, sir, madam, sirs and ladies and gents. Oof. Can you drag it out though? I'll tell you what, it definitely wants to make it to that 33, 34, 42. That is like a major level, absolutely. And it does want to make it there. The real question is, does it really have the momentum to break out of the cell that is currently being tested within the framework of which it's in, which is that cell. And so you already tested sort of the wedge, you started opening up, right? Tested this junction, which was very annoying. You can see all the internal noise. I'm going to remove that so you can see it. So you can see the internal noise. Right? You can see all the getting entanglement, and getting entangled and all the beautiful stuff. Retesting, normal. And so now, current position, as it stands, you're far more likely to correct downwards. But the problem is, this is onto the upside. That's negative. Damn it, why are you so annoying? That's a larger target. On the monthly, and technically it did test it. I'm afraid to tell you that it's actually far more likely for it to start correcting, and even if it does go higher, it's part of the corrective movement. So let's say it hits 50 here, goes for a correction temporarily, and so you're going to get almost like this sort of thing, but you're never going to get this high, right? So what can you get? Can you really get that 33? I'm starting to have my doubts about the 33. No. Okay. So no. Let me correct. Okay. It does. It will make it to 33. The only thing is that it does appear that you will get entangled with that 28 first still, and only once you conquer that, that will allow you and will be permissive, and so that can actually be very annoying as such. And so it's not a straightforward path, but yes, you will make 33, 34. It does appear that, in fact, I may argue that eventually, if now it's not going to have give me data, but it's in the middle. I remember. So down and up. Okay. Okay. That's pretty annoying. That's going to mean. That means the following. How the way this can work is something akin to up in order to go down. Maybe have some slippage. And actually, eventually, yes, 39.81. But this is going to be sketchy, and I'm being generous. This might bring you all the way to like 22. Max Payne, 20, whatever handle that is, 2369, right? That handle, that area. So this thing with some slippage here and there, depending on how long it will take. But, and here at peak pain, when everybody's going to be unloading, basically the idea is to buy, because what you can recognize here, that what was ceiling will be now showing evidence of overturning into floor. And so confirmation and then movement upwards, probably through the process of confirming some of this, and then eventually moving to that area and allowing your to slide to 39 just in order to correct back down and retest. So you're going to be doing ta, 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 ta. Bam! That is that. Ah, that's a good one. Let's see what the market's doing in time being. Nothing. Really, I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to have something similar to yesterday. The market will hit that ceiling again, will get stuck or something, because it appears to be more than ready to break back down. I truly hope it won't overnight and will stay stable, so tomorrow it just drops down instead of giving us this bullshit, nausea kind of thing. Can the SPX have another fourth rally for the overbought? I'm speaking monthly wise. That's a good question, Michalis. Look, in reality, you can say everything can happen. I really don't see it happening because we really are at the edge of the edge of the edge. But I'll explain this. I will explain something that's actually technically a very good question. I ended up talking about this today with one of my students, and I want you to understand this. This actually is a very good question. Let's look at the current channel. Let me just remove all the noise and blah, blah that I have here. What can happen? So, look, I don't want you to misunderstand and to think that because we ended up testing this resistance last time 3 months, 1, 2, 3, to start the correction, that means exactly the same thing for us this time around. In reality, and I will be completely real with you, yes, there could be another month and then even another month. We can end up being 5 months until we break down, right? Maybe even 8 months. How likely is it based upon the structure of momentum we have right now? Not too much. And even that will basically get us stuck for 3 months, hypothetically. So do you wish yourself for 3 months to get stuck between 6,100 to 6,200 just to end up breaking down? That's kind of useless. And it can happen. But given the structure here, given the structure here, given the structure here that we're about to start dying back on, and given this, and given this, how things are starting to look, and most importantly, as we said, the monthly, I doubt that's the case. I doubt what you have left in the chamber here is 2 or 3 more months of bullish momentum, because that's what it takes for you to do what you just said. And so that becomes very unlikely. Could it ever happen? Abso-goddamn-lutely. Really? Yes, it can. Does it become pattern breaking? Depends. There is an internal structure that does dictate that if I didn't count well, and that actually will mean that we have another room for another wave and a half, which is on the smaller scale of things, which will mean, like I said, maybe $100 at best. And that's just going to be torture. It's going to feel like pure torture. If you think today were torturous, imagine 3 months of that, day in, day out. So based upon the momentum as it's structured, I doubt it. Am I saying that's it? It's determined that here on the third month we break? No, it's not certain, but it's not going to be far-fetched, and it has more to do with the lack of momentum rather than the fact that we are doing this for the third month now. Okay, that's kind of there's a lot of things that actually make it happen the way it does, because remember, you're seeing it in a very condensed fashion, and this whole area actually is a lot more detailed, if you will, and there's a lot more action that took place, and all of these attempts, right, if you can see sort of the entire marking here, there's a lot more that was going on as we're doing this, right? And you can see basically, I mean, it becomes visible how we went from a clear uptrend to now the trend is starting to flatten and already also starting to show signs of breakage. And if it's going to continue on that path, I mean, all I can say in a couple of months is cry me a river. I've been warning about this coming for a year and then some. Honestly, for very much longer, really, if you want to be really, really objective, but definitely in the open and very vocal for about a year. Enough for everybody and anybody to already do the research, find these things, find out whether Greg is wrong, right, there's some any merit to this. We were breaking it down on the technical level, on the fundamental story level. So many, we've done everything. This has been chewed, spit out, and rechewed to death. At this point, if you don't get it, yeah, no, bummer. And I still can tell you that I might end up being wrong, but I doubt it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be buying a whole bunch of vegetable cues. We are here doing OSCR. I don't know why. It sounds like it should work. Yeah, you guys got to hear me trying to sort of sing. You see, not a pleasant experience. Told you. I was warning. Don't say I didn't warn you. You should have known any better. Let me just set up a structure so I can see what I'm talking about. And that's obviously going to be this, and obviously that, and then obviously this, and obviously I'm right. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That's cool. You're in the bottom of the channel with upwards momentum on the weekly. You're doing pretty well. That sucks for you, though. What is the quarterly? Quarterly doesn't have data, so that sucks for you. That is also like really bad for you. That is more indicative, instead of you doing... So basically the idea here is, so how it can differ is that instead of you doing this, you're more so doing this. Like you're doing the wedge thing. I went crazy here. Don't ignore that. Ignore that. It's more like, oh, for fuck's sake. More like this. We're developing this sort of structure. Sorry, it's not this sort of structure, which, ironically enough, the way the market works, it can actually do that sort of thing and this sort of thing sometimes. But then eventually somewhere here, at the wedge at the end, in 2028, you're going to be better. Is that an indication of where the recession ends? I wonder. You know, there's going to be a movie in healthcare next season. Market correction, then another correction. Get down! Get down the ground! It's gonna be fun. We're gonna make Arnold the main star. It's gonna be an action movie about the market. It's gonna be Arnold sitting behind the microphone and yelling at the mic. That's what it's going to be. Get down! Get down! Get down again now. Jokes aside, I really respect Arnold and really like him. Those are just jokes. Don't hate on me. We can practice that singing. Well, we shouldn't get practice singing. Nope. Nope. This is not good for you, though. Jokes aside, it's not good for you. You are building up here towards a deeper correction now that we had a lot of fun and all that. It's still going to suck for you. Realize that, right? Even though you might make another corrective movement to the upside, which is that what this is, and it still can actually be easily 1953 and maybe even higher, something like a 20 handle. You know, something like this junction. Doesn't surprise me if it's going to be something like, you know, it's going to end up retesting something, whatever that is, sort of thing. Yeah. Boys and girls, questions? Do we have any questions? Or have we finished today's live? Are we ready? Have we been completely finished? What? Who? Where? Have to drop. Have a good evening, everyone. Then he's not even arguing. It's like, it has to drop. I don't care. Bye. I'm out. Just market drop. Bye. I agree, Danny. I totally agree with that. Market does have to drop. But let's all hope it's not going to happen overnight, because then it's going to suck. I'll say this. If the market does choose to drop overnight, make sure it drops to about like 5,800 at least, so it's not going to close the gap the very next day and we're going to spend 2 more weeks on doing some stupid shit. Okay? Well, just make sure that's the case. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to drop. RTX. Pardon me. Apologies. I will tell you that I am saying that this is not cool, and you're definitely probably getting ready for this, but it's still somewhat upwards looking. But then it's cheating you. I get why. Really, what the thing is, okay, this. Yeah, just squeezing that the juice, it still has been. It's gonna retain your channel. In fact, you're not gonna break out to the left side no matter what. Although you end up testing it, which is probably an external channel that is a remnants of the previous channel. I would say it's probably a shoulder channel, if anything, an overbought area on the previous channel. So it's not all that important. And oversold, sorry, on the previous, and so it's overbought on the current. And at the end of the day, what it does, it just shows that you're basically squeezing the bejesus out of it. Now we get ready for it to correct downwards. How soon? I mean, let's look at the levels. I mean, you're definitely 1, 2, 3. Okay, I should have suspected. Damn it. You have 100 here. 110, probably 120, 123, 130, 100, 100, and 100. So 100 will be your main sort of guideline. And that's going to be your head and shoulders, probably. It's probably going to create a head and shoulders thingy here. Probably something like that. So it's going to create a head and shoulders here. And then thingy like that. Now that makes a lot more sense. That's how market likes to behave, starting to create a lower low. But it's still going to bring you downwards, absolutely beyond the shadow of a doubt. At first, roughly to around the handle of the 100. And it's kind of right now stuck on resistance almost. You can argue it's like 123. So 123, 120, 110, 100. And once you're done with that row of nonsense, you're going to go penetrate the previous level, which will give you a whole set of threes below, which that will be the ceiling of, which will look like that. And then you're going to retest that for a second and then go drop that. You see? Oh, perfect. Perfect. You get the idea. Yeah? Yeah, cool. Wait, what did I miss? It's how your analysis always the same as mine. It is good, Chris. It is very impressive. In fact, I am stealing all my analysis from you. It is all you. And from the Steam, not the market. I understand. I understand from the stream. I get it. I get it. Sure, aren't brothers. We just might be. What might just might be. That just means you got abducted. Or went wandering off and never came back. I too use the corporate speak. I too speak the corporate speak. Machuchu pachacha. But do you speak the Arnold speak? That is the real speak you want to speak. But corporate speak, yeah. The language that was made to confuse the average person. That's all it is. Yeah, no, I suspect we're not gonna have anything all that exciting overnight. It's just gonna go going up and down the very same range. Although again, like I said, if it wanna break, like let it break, but break, like full speed. So there'll be a gap of like 300, 400 bucks. I want to see that sort of thing. That is not gonna get closed. So by the Germans, yeah, that's what happened, Christoph. You were stolen by the Germans. Yeah, that's what happened. We probably also know when. Wink, wink. All right, boys and girls. I feel like at this stage it really becomes nonsensical and we're all going bananas. I hope I was able to cover your stocks that you wanted me to cover. To go back to sanity and reality, and I definitely need to go eat a little bit, and I do have so much stuff to do still. And yeah, that's it, boys and girls. I guess I'll see you in the community. Don't forget to join. Actually, yeah, very important. Shout out to the really great Discord community with the cool members, where we hang out right here in the open forum every single day, and we definitely chat quite a bit and discuss everything, and we share videos and we talk about all sorts of cool topics. And actually, the main hangout, the main thing is the open forum. You're more than welcome to join the academy partition, which is still a work in progress, but mainly the whole academy bit is the stuff you have with me on a daily basis. I'm very sorry, I'm kind of behind on some of the sessions and all that stuff. That is because I had a toothache and I'm just now kind of going back to normal. I will try to make it up for everyone who I'm behind with. And if I forgot anything, DM me, and definitely DM me regardless. And let's talk on the open forum every single day. We join there, hang out, talk about the stock market, talk about the stocks, talk about the technical analysis, talk about about anything and everything from food to aliens. So join us. It's a blast. That's it, boys and girls. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.